All right. Well. Let's grab some links here real quick. And I probably need to grab these headphones. Sorry about that. It's muted right now. Not sure if you can hear it, but I can't. There we go. There we go. Perfect. And then we have to go into okay. So let me go grab some links, paste that, all that stuff. And give me one moment, please. So we're going to paste this in Facebook. Oh my God, hello. Copy and share. I really wish they would stop asking me what I wanted to share. If I click share, I probably just want to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Telling you. So just give me a moment here. So I'm going to be on Twitter. Maybe go in here on Palantir. Let it connect. I have to wait for it to. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then we're going to go into Discord real quick. And then we can. Something is not right. What the heck even is going on? There we are. Okay, I'm going to leave that open. Okay. My Twitter's kind of blowing up a little bit here. Lots of people are liking something that I did or said or something like that. All right, so here we are. We are going to go up to next morning. And we're going to get the sun up a bit here. There we go, something like that. So I've been busy doing some off-camera work in preparation for this live stream. It's been a long time coming, and we're just going to dive right into it. So obviously the title of the live stream is Man Your Stations. I've been doing a lot. I actually lost a whole bunch of my craft because I accidentally deleted the wrong. I had multiple versions of Kerbal Space Program and multiple saves and stuff, and I deleted the wrong one, but I didn't lose everything, which is awesome. So I have this ridiculous amount of craft from all those different folders I kind of coalesced that were remaining. I don't have all of them. I'm missing probably about 15 different craft that are kind of important to me, but gotta move on. Gotta move on. It makes room for new things. Crew return pod. Let's focus on crew return pod 4. I'm gonna load that up. So check this out. So we got the decoupler on the bottom for docking, or sorry, docking port senior here, and this allows this to detach from the heat shield. Now there's 2 ways to attach this to a heat shield. There's like this, or there's like this. If you do it like that, I'm not sure how that works, but at least doing it this way, you can undock from the heat shield, and then yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory why, it's a heat shield. Why would you need a heat shield? It's for crew returning to Kerbal. And yeah, I've gone through multiple iterations of this particular craft, and it's not number 4, it's just how many crew can fit in it. So we're going to do a quick little test launch of this, and so you could probably see the other docking port on there. Got some parachutes, some different lights, and that's for lights are for maneuvering and rendezvousing and docking with stuff up in orbit and whatnot. Okay, so we got the reaction wheel, we got the probe core, got some RCS. What you can't see is there is actually a whole bunch of. Maybe we can go down here. What is? Can you see it through here? Oh no, that's right. This one does not. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah, you can see some RTGs in there. Those are radio thermal generators. RTGs. So the lights, I would prefer to have the lights down the end here, but the end is something that you don't. It's like a heat shield and 2 docking ports. It's kind of weird to have the lights down there. So they're down here and they're angled out a little bit, so they give a little bit more coverage up until, I don't know, a couple meters away, and then yeah. So we're gonna see how this looks. Did not change anything on here. Oh, that's right. I remounted it. Doesn't really matter. Takes a bit because of all the craft. I'm going to have to weed out some of these things. So, space launcher. Looking for space launcher. Which one is it? No, this is actually the big Mama Jama here. Whoa, okay. So what's under here, you might wonder. We can get back to that number 3 in a second. So this is the one I really wanted to showcase. Look at the size of this thing. Can fit 16 Kerbals in there. And we're just going to launch it and then show you exactly kind of the what's going on in here. Oh, remember my hat is different. It's almost 70 freaking degrees outside. It was supposed to be like 60, but it's a lot warmer than that. The windows open all over the house here, my girlfriend's place. Yeah, it's pretty awesome actually. So we're gonna launch this sucker right away. Make sure this isn't too loud. This fairing is actually fairly small compared to some of the things you've probably possibly seen me launch in the past. And it's a fairly snug fairing. I didn't want to waste. I want it to be sort of a little bit slimmed down a bit, so it's more in line with the launch vehicle. So this is my standard launch vehicle now. The Mongoose launch vehicle, it's just way too overpowered for a lot of what I do now. What if in case you're not sure what that is, I'll show you in a minute. But the Mongoose launch vehicle, if you go on Kerbal X, I should put the Kerbal X link in the video description. I should be able to leave that by itself for a minute. I'm not going to try to put this in orbit, so I don't really need. I'm not even watching the game right now. I only have one screen, but there we are. So it's warm. I'm not wearing my pink hat anymore because it's just too warm. I was sweating wearing it. There we go. Kerbal X link is now in the description. Okay, let's pop back into the game here. What are these tanks looking like? Okay. Let's just get rid of these guys. Keep going with the core. I want to make sure that's still attached. If you want to make sure something's still attached, turn it off and turn it back on again. Because if it doesn't respond, then it's disconnected from your control point, basically. All aboard the hype train, right? It's the transit part of the transit biker. Or the biker part of the transit part. All aboard and whatnot. So we're going to take this up as far as it will go. We're losing quite a bit of velocity here. It's very overpowered for this size thing. I mean, you could get this interplanetary pretty easily. You can... This is probably about a quarter of the lifting power of the Mongoose. The Mongoose can put any craft in orbit around another planet. Any craft up to 1,000 tons, something like I don't know. I think it's like 400 tons of actual end thing, like the thing that ends up being actually in orbit. Okay. Do not want to trigger those parachutes quite yet. I'll get back a little bit here. Put a little bit of distance. I wish you could still do 4 times here. That'd be useful. Let's just make sure we're not doing... I think we'll aim for about... I don't know. We'll see where it goes. And check this out. It's almost perfectly polar. This was completely an accident. This was an accident. Yeah, there's Mongoose 6. We'll zip to that in a second. Just go over a little bit and cut. We should be at a decent altitude here. And now we will decouple the node. We will we gotta orient this thing properly. Okay, then we're going to go back, and we are going to is that a wide enough space? Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, that's close. Oh my God. There we go. All right. So this is unmanned right now. Let's turn some lights on. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go over this thing. First off, everyone probably knows what this is. This is an inflatable heat shield. We got some struts here just to make sure that this thing doesn't bend off to one side during the high G moments of reentry. This is an ore tank. This is simply just to get the center of mass, which is where the camera is focused right now, down towards the inflatable heat shield. This all goes away and it gets jettisoned right here once the primary sort of dangerous heating part's over. So this thing has docking ports on either side for the 3-passenger crew return pod, which is the Mark III command pod. And it has this guy here for docking to everything else. Because I don't have any of the docking port junior. I don't use that. And inside here, let's open this. Full probe control. Ta-da! Surprise. All right. We're going to close that. And we have just a frick ton of parachutes on this thing because it's a unit. So there's a big inline reaction wheel, some batteries. We have some PV that we can test out here. I think we have a decent amount of RTGs buried in here somewhere. It's around here somewhere. Oh, there they are. Yeah, look at that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 8 of them, and that is inside of the monopropellant tank, which is this part right here. We're going to just extend solar panel. Of course, this is not meant to be reused. This is simply like, we got to go. And this can be launched up, retrieve the crew, and come back down. That's the main purpose of this thing, is launch for recovery of crew. The other ones are station docking, like you would keep them on the space station, like semi-permanently until you're ready to go back. This one is not meant for permanent attachment to any of the space stations. Now, if I ever get a really complicated station with like science and stuff and so on and so forth, I might consider using one of these, but this is mainly like we're going to send the craft up to come and get you. That's what this is basically for. Okay, so we're going to attract these guys. We're going to start orienting. That reaction wheel is very potent. Before I put that reaction wheel on there, oh my God, it's a freaking nightmare. All right, so we're just going to leave it like that for now. Turn the RCS back on. It does make a tiny difference with the RCS. It does actually make a tiny difference. And it also helps because you're dumping the monopropellant overboard. So it's not just it's not just the thrust. It's you're dumping fuel overboard and using it as thrust all at the same time. So I'm just going to use the heck out of this to take a bit of the bite. If you look, keep an eye on here, 50. As soon as I take that off, these numbers start to go a little bit crazy. But if I keep it on there, it takes the top end of that acceleration off. So as you can see, we are aiming for probably this area down here. Depends on what the heat shield decides to do. There's our other thing there. That will find its way back. Ideally, this would be put into orbit, and then this could come back. But it only has the it has this thing on the bottom. Does it have the docking port? Yes, it does have a docking port. So in theory, this could be landed down here somehow, but I don't think I'm really gonna. So it looks like it's gonna be maybe this area is where we're gonna end up. So like I said, doing the monopropellant is not, it doesn't do a whole lot, but it does make a difference. So keep your eyes on this number right here. It's going down. There's nothing we can do about that. But check out this number right here. So we're gonna, it just takes the okay, here we go. We're starting to heat up. Okay, we're gonna inflate the heat shield. Whoop, what the heck? Okay, there we go. There we are. We're gonna leave the RCS on. They're getting a little tiny bit of lift from this thing. Let's check out the, yeah, a little bit of lift going on there. It wants to tip this way, but the control wheels and stuff are just not letting it. So at this point, I probably could jettison this from a heat standpoint, but it would catch. I'm just gonna kind of let it fall down. This is like the best way to do it. You save on electric charge. You don't really need to save on electric charge because it's so overpoweredly. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could stick a couple RTGs in here and not have them tucked in here clipped. So, okay, we are going to and then we're gonna have them trigger. I think they're all gonna trigger. Or is it just the one? Okay, now we're gonna decouple. And because the ore tank is on there, it's just gonna plummet quite quickly. So that's what that one over there. So we gotta okay, so this thing is extremely heavy, especially with quite a bit of monopropellant left. So we're gonna kind of time lapse this down. Spoiler alert, we lose all of those parts. They splash down well over the crash, the force tolerance with that. I think these are all set to go off at either 3,000 or 1,000. I don't remember. Doesn't really matter. In previous versions of the game, this would be a really bad idea, but this is probably fine. Let's see. Thousand. So we'll so even all right now we already have quite a bit of stopping power here, and the rest of them are about to come online. So let's just watch that real quick. Let's just keep your eye on this one here. yeah, that's quite a bit of braking force. So now that those are all deployed, I don't think it's overkill because there will be some situations where this will be coming in a lot faster, especially if it's coming in from an orbital. Like when I say orbital, I don't mean around Kerbal. I mean like a Kerbal, like the star in the middle of the solar in the system. There, it's not solar system. Solar is like a sun. Um, but if it's coming out from a like a interplanetary orbit down to Kerbal in like one go, it's going to be coming in real hot. And even if the heating is not an issue, if I have to, I will keep that heat shield on, and I'll put the chutes out at the same time. So that's what it's overkill just because of that, basically. Nice and soft landing, and then we'll just flop over real quick. 3. Okay, nothing damaged, I think. Oh. All right, all right, all right. So we're going to recover this Mama Jama here. And we're going to go take a look at the Mongoose launch system, because I've kind of designed it around the probe that I launch with it. I mean, it's kind of like a package deal. The Mongoose is actually the probe. It's not the launch system. So we're going to hop into here real quick, and we're going to bring out the Mongoose 6. I think there's a 6 and a 6.1 or a 6A or something like that. I usually make like ABC, multiple different variations, just like in real life, real life technology company, space technology company, aerospace, whatever you want to call it. They would very frequently have multiple renditions of something for different specific reasons and uses. So we're going to go down to Mongoose down here. Mongoose 6. And you'll see right away what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the probe inside here. Yeah, it's a gigantic freaking fairing. So, bend over. I have something for you. No, I'm just kidding. So we're going to grab the probe core, which is tucked in here. Yeah, this is a massive, massive, massive vessel, actually. Look down here. This is the pad mass of this is 3,000 tons, 949 part count. That's mainly because of the xenon. Yeah, I just kind of, I went a little bit crazy with the xenon because that's the only way. Now I want to change this up, actually. So this is one issue I actually have. So I'm going to bring this here, park it. Is that 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 8. I don't want to take these ore containers completely off, but I want to make them jettisonable, because once these ISRUs are done, like making monoprop and whatnot, like I don't necessarily want to keep these guys around. So I think actually I have a better idea. Wait, they're already on there? Wait, what? I didn't know that. I literally I thought these were fixed to this part of the craft. And look, I'm like, oh, let's just add these. But I already have those. They're already on there. I already did that. What the heck am I doing? What am I doing? I don't understand. But I'm actually going to update this now that I have this here like that. Whoa, look at that. Okay, glitching out. Okay, this makes a little bit more sense because this will actually allow multiple smaller craft. Oh, that's right. And you don't even see the launch vehicle. You just see the top of it. Gotta wait for a minute because it's updating the craft file and it's 900 something parts, almost 1,000 parts. If I try to click, it'll like turn white and be like, this program is not responding. It's responding. Oh, there we go. So let's just super quick. I can't really do it without messing up a bunch of stuff, actually. So let's just forget that, unfortunately. And then what we can do. Oh no, we can do it. We can do it simply. We can just take that off, which is hilarious because the fairing is still there. Not sure what that's all about. All right, let's. Come on, man. What is this thing doing? There we go. Still going to take a while. It doesn't even matter. There's still 276 parts on this thing, and it still weighs 81 tons. And there we go. Oops. Oh my God! Please don't attach like that. No. Thankfully, detaching stuff is a little bit quicker. Okay. Ooh, there we go. So I'm pretty sure this will not fit inside the. It does. Okay. That's pretty wild. So we're just going to leave it like that, actually. And are there any other changes? I mean, this is a pretty substantially large freaking craft here. Windows open right here. Oh, that's forgot about the. Wait, oh, there we go. I can actually see now. This is going to take a sec. Okay. So everything is okay there. We're going to grab this. And so you might be wondering why I have it set up like this. This just ensures that there's a rigid connection. There's like the probe itself forms like a backbone, and then the shroud, the fairing, connects on either side. So some people, when they launch stuff, the fairing doesn't touch any of the internal bits. But this kind of has to because it's so tall. It's so tall. And I think, let me go in and grab the probe core that's I think it's right here. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just gonna move it up. Okay. I think this fairing actually extends. One of the reasons why it did that, it stayed on there. I think it actually extends down from the top. So anyway, this is just to give you. This is all for the bracing. It is needed, and this was also built before auto strut. So yeah, there's the bottom. So let's put some crew on here real quick. Scientist, engineer. Okay. Oh, save also, because I want to make sure that's updated. And that also allows us to capture those ore. It also allows us to grab the ore containers with one of those other craft. We could dock with it at some point if we really wanted to, and bring it back. So something, it's actually reusable in a kind of sort of way. So we're gonna save one more time, OCD and all that. OCD is actually a real thing. It's like debilitating. People really shouldn't take it that lightly. Actually, thinking about it. Why did I not put the crew in the lander can? Because this has full probe control, and I'm going to keep it that way. So there are three main functions of this, and it is kind of one of those things where it's jack of all trades, master of none. When the relay, like the loud and clear, I think it's called, where you had to have probe control with the relay dish and all that kind of thing. I put the relays on there for that purpose. So it kind of grew into it, that particular thing. But basically, it's like a manned science and communication outpost. We can put way out in the Kerbal system and have it relay all kinds of stuff. We can have it different inclinations, different orbit, have it around different planets and stuff for just basic utility stuff. And also it can do science. There's a plethora of science experiments on board, which is fun. And then there is the other thing is crew transportation and recovery. Now the recovery part of it is not to return them to Kerbal. It's to grab them from other craft if need be. And the crew return and some of the other craft that I have going on here, they can actually dock with this thing, which is pretty awesome. So it's sort of like a one-stop shop for everything. And it can be manned or unmanned, but it does have the control. Yeah, there we go. Let's get a part count. No, not even someone in the IRC channel, the Kerbal Space Program IRC channel, is asking about the part count. Oh wait, let me grab the actual mass real quick. 3069.3. 0.31. Okay. Ooh, that's a nice breeze. It's actually getting quite warm outside. Well, I wouldn't say warm. It's getting not cold outside. So as you can see, this let me pop that up there. Not sure why it's doing that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so we have ore, we have solid fuel, we have monoprop, we have liquid, oxidized, xenon, electric. We have all this stuff. Okay. The solid fuel is actually the little Sepratron up here to get this thing off and away from the top. So as you can see, this is a completely different beast. This thing, I don't have a delta V calculator or method that I can just quickly punch in or anything, but let's go to right about here. Right, this thing also can't thrust too high right off the block here because we want the whole ship coming up at the same time. So we're at 3/4 throttle right now. Let's just get this thing up. Yeah, we're having some issues with the fairing, but that's one of the reasons why I designed a different launch system, because this is just so much more power. The problem is its thrust to weight is crap starting out, and as it empties, it doesn't get that much better, to be honest. That should help a little bit. Yeah, that helped a lot, actually, I think. I think. Yeah, and you can see the fairing moving around down there. It's okay. It'll survive. It'll survive. I'm not really concerned, actually. So, if you want to communicate, you can hop on the Kerbal Space Program IRC channel, or you can hit me up on Twitter. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. Yeah, chat is disabled because I don't look at that. This is what I use for chat, is my phone. So it helps me. That is a lot of oxidizer. Look at that. You start out with I'm having trouble because, well, 281,160 units of oxidizer, 230,040 units of liquid fuel, and of course we have 117,050 units of xenon gas, and we have 8 units of solid fuel, 2,400 units of ore, 5,990 units of monopropellant, and it's a good amount of resources that we have. So we have stabilized. We have stabilized. Now I built this in 1.4 and I'm playing 1.5. That's probably the auto strut stuff probably did not update. Yeah, I don't know what the frame rate is here, but it helps when I do this. When I just look at the sky, because it's not rendering the ground. Hello. There we go. And you can see how tall this thing is. It's definitely pretty substantial. The drag on this is pretty monumental, actually. Look at the drag. Oh, oh, yes, that's yeah. I should probably put those big weird nose cones on these things or something to just take the drag down a little tiny bit. That might help. And look, we even have some body lift because it was coming off of fairing, actually, it looks like. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm launching this one to show you guys that this can actually get curb and escape by itself. It doesn't need any tricky multiple passes around an orbit. It can actually just go straight up and out, carrying this gigantic probe station thingamabob. And then we're going to get back into the crew return vehicles and really focus on docking a few of them to a manned space station. We had a problem with one of the space stations that I launched because it was missing a part. I messed up in the editor and I missed a part, and it didn't really work with that missing, so I kind of jettisoned all of the little pods and stuff, and that took me a few hours to sort of collect all the pods. They can kind of sort of dock together, but not kind of really, because there's a docking port and a docking port senior, one of these, because it's, you know, it's the Apollo style capsule. But you'll see that in a minute when we get rid of this lower first stage here. The frame rate will. This is almost 1,000 parts. 957 parts. 3,069.31 tons on the pad. Most of that mass is fuel, so let's not be mistaken about that. And most of that fuel is in the first stage, as we can see here. Are we making any progress here? This first stage actually used to be a bit different and also a bit wider. I reconfigured it to have, I think there's like 4 fewer engines on it or something. I don't remember. The only issue is that if it kind of coalesces on the launch pad the wrong way, these start actually clipping, and the game realizes that they're kind of clipped into each other, and what happens is some of these ones overheat, and then when they explode, they kind of, it's like a chain reaction. So let's quickly just go into the settings and see if we can't turn some of these. Oh, that doesn't really matter. Pardon me. Okay. There's not a lot of graphics options here, unfortunately. Maybe that'll help. Maybe we can turn this. Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, I can immediately tell the difference. It's a little bit fuzzier. Okay, let's give it a sec to do that. That's probably going to help quite a bit. Then we're going to turn that down. And that will also help quite a bit. Is this actually applying? Yes, it is. Okay. Shadow cascades, turn that down all the way. Apply. Accept. A little bit better, maybe something. If I turn this on, it does improve because it's the aerodynamic heating effect goes away when you do this. Yeah, that's definitely noticeably faster. Once we get rid of this first stage, that's where most of the parts are actually on the first stage. This whole section here is probably about 500 parts right here. Now let's go check out our ascent profile. Now we're not even through the first stage yet, and we're already up at orbital height at our AP apoapsis. And just for mercy's sake, I'm just gonna yeah, look at okay, here we go. Prepare yourselves. Okay. Now, if we hit this screen real quick, if we can see. So now this has 299 parts. Yeah, it's almost 700 parts in the other. Okay. All right, so we are going to do this, and we're going to continue on. I think I overheated the fairing inside of this or something, the housing. That is quite a few parts. Went from 900 to 29. Yeah, about 700 parts in that one. I thought it was like 500, but nope. Yeah, we definitely are seeing a better frame rate at this point. It'll be even better once we get that. Once we get this guy out of render distance, it'll be so much better. Okay, so we are going to. Now let's quickly, before we lose contact, do a quick thing. 145 parts. That doesn't make any sense. What the heck's going on? It only has 145 parts. There we go. So, like I said, we're just gonna do like an up and out type of thing. All right, so I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna. I think this is able to do that. Yeah, previous crafts, especially in 1.3, KSP 1.3 is very risky. So this is just a let's get out of the atmosphere kind of stage, and then there's another stage above that. So the first stage is capable of straight shotting this right from Kerbal straight up to the moon, which is, when you think about it, it's crazy. It's like a gun basically, like just instantly just. The downside to that is that you do have to have enough to. Okay, so that's out of fuel. Now we're gonna see where we are here. Okay. All right. Now that we're in space, I think we're gonna kill that. We're going to. There we go. Come on, man. What the heck? Deploy. There we go. As soon as all this stuff is out of render distance, it's a lot better. Now we can see the sort of cone there. We are very quickly just going to turn that off. We're going to decouple this guy here. It's kind of hidden in there. We're going to decouple. That's hopefully it's faced the right way, so it leaves our docking port. All right, so we're going to while that's doing that, we're going to find the Sepratron and fire that. There we go. That's a pretty fun little dance it does. There we go, and then we can continue climbing up. I don't know if this, because the first stage is just such a horrendously giant lag monster that, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something. There we go, extend radiator. I'm going to make this do oxidizer. And yes, we're making fuel as we're going up from the ore. And I'm going to make this one. Okay, come on now. And we're going to have this one doing the liquid fuel. We're already up at 100% efficiency. And this is also kind of a way to get rid of mass. Thermal efficiency is 100%. Let's see those radiators starting to work there. That's cool. This has no other stages. The next thing is just the probe by itself. But yeah, it kind of makes kind of a neat little. Come on, why is it doing this? Extend radiator. I may as well go all the way if I'm gonna make fuel on Ascent. May as well go all the way. So this one's going to do. This one's going to do again oxidizer, and then wow, this is really not. There we go. Okay, and then this one's going to do liquid fuel. There we go. Yeah, and that electric charge is going to take a massive hit at this point. But that's okay. We have enough. The ore is going down. That's good. That's why we have like a billion times more. I think we have 10 times more. I think it is about 10 times more electric charge than we do ore, which is a good thing. Now, one of these, this is the Mongoose 6. Now, one of the Mongoose 6's previous version, before I reoriented the and kind of redid the ore tanks, actually still has its final stage attached to it. And I had made fuel, but I didn't realize that I could remove the tanks. I didn't realize that I had mounted them that way. Okay. So I'm going to turn this off for now. I'm not worried about the electric charge, honestly. I'm much more concerned about the fuel situation. Because I do want to get this out of the Kerbal sphere of influence and into its own sort of orbit. Now, if I do this right, I should be able to very, very, very carefully. Okay, we are going to run out of electric charge fairly quickly here. So we're going to stop and stop. We still have plenty of ore, but we don't have enough electric charge to sort of fast forward this anymore. So we may end up relying on the xenon and the monoprop RCS. And there's a reason why there's a lot of xenon. So yeah, this is just kind of showing you where I've come from, and then the next little bit will be sort of like where I'm headed kind of thing. Oh, I gotta see this. I'm not sure if that's going to work. It might work. End up running out of electric charge, though. Okay, so we are going to... Okay, we're going to deploy the big Mother Hubbards right here. These ones could possibly, maybe be able to offset the electric charge deficiency there. Okay. Yeah, I mean they're pretty gigantic. Okay. Yeah, it's not great efficiency. I know there's probably mod packs and stuff that could make the like a modified ISO either more efficient or something like that, but I'm not really concerned about that. So I have the RCS kind of just clustered in different areas. It's not as much RCS on this particular craft compared to some of my other ones, especially the like the orbital tugs and whatnot. I think there's like 4, 4, and 4. So there's 12 for this craft. It's not a lot. Yeah, we can maintain that. This is hilarious. That first stage, even though it was a lag festival, you really do need it because this thing is still even at empty. This thing is still. I mean, ore tanks aside, it's still 148 tons, which is a lot. It's a lot more than I think anything in real life can actually be launched. So we're going to switch back to this view. We're going to turn some lights on. Don't think that does anything, does it? No. And I keep forgetting to put lights on these things. Whatever. It just makes it easier to see when you're docking and stuff. All right. Now, one thing I could do, may not help at all, is probably not a good idea because that takes up a monstrous amount of electric charge. Okay, we're getting towards the point here where we really got to do something serious, or else we're not gonna make it. So I think what we're gonna do now, because this thing is basically just dead weight, unfortunately. This thing down here is basically just dead weight. So we're going to keep going, but we are going to officially decouple. Oh geez, what happened? Decouple. And we're also going to jettison these because these are just dead weight. And let's see, there's, geez, come on. And one last guy here. It's one engine. Whoops. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, let's. No, it doesn't make any sense either. Let's just do it this way. Oh, whoops. Ha ha ha. Right, let's. Okay, this is getting a little bit ridiculous. Oh, come on, man. What the hell's going on here? Oh, that's right. I have to enable the damn RCS. Big face up in your face. Okay, come on now. Come on. Here we go. Careful, I don't want to damage any of the xenon tanks or anything like that down there. Okay. At this point, I'm just trying to salvage this because that's a lot of time wasted if it's not like gonna get out of, you know, dodge here. That one might be an issue. Yeah, I have to be careful. Don't break anything, please. Yeah, these are xenon tanks right here. Okay, so we're coming up on our AP, and there's a lot we can do. Oh, fun times. aim camera, and then I want to come down here and aim camera. Hello, hello, McFly. Wow, this thing's like super unresponsive now. It's great. Good times. Activate engine. Activate engine. Activate engine. Activate engine. There's a lot. There's quite a few of these ion engines that I have to activate. Quite a few. Activate engine. I think there just might be one more here. Activate engine. Okay. So that level, that sort of tier of engines is running, but now we have to get the second tier of engines. It'd be cool if the ion engine's vectored, but I don't think they do. Activate engine, 1, 2. So just 2 more. Where are the inactive ones? You should be able. They should stand out because they won't be blue. Okay, there they are. Okay, these 2 guys right here. Oh my goodness. This was a giant you-know-what show here. What the heck, man? Now keep in mind, like I said before, we're taking fuel. We're not just moving the fuel out of the ship. We're actually creating thrust by reducing our mass at the same time. So it's like a double effect. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. So what I'm going to do, shut this all down. We're just going to, this is too many parts. This is too many parts that are still within render distance. We're just going to park these solar things before we lose them. I want to crash it relatively intact, if that makes any sense. See what kind of heating. Okay, so we are going to go full throttle with the ions, which will do basically nothing because they don't really have thrust in the atmosphere at all. This thing is so going to explode. Yep. Don't know what that was, but yeah, we're losing engines now. Or xenon tanks. Could be xenon tanks too. Don't really know. We're losing. Oh, there must be xenon tanks that we're losing. massive explosions, but we haven't lost any engines yet, actually. Let me see here. We're probably about to lose some engines, I would guess. Yeah, we lost one engine there. Most of these explosions are the xenon tanks because they're very full. Oh, we lost something big there. What was that we lost? Oh, we lost a couple of more engines. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because the xenon tanks are way out. They're very exposed here. Oh, it got hit by the ship. Rip. Can we save the probe core? The probe core is all the way up here. So it's possible that we could have some. There's just so much monopropellant on this thing. It's very top. It's very heavy for the size that it is. Oh, rip, crew. No way. No way. The top part survived. It's totally broken, but the top part did. It did survive. We have one PV panel left here. It's on the wrong side, though. How is that still attached? Is there another panel that we can use? Is this one? We might be able to use this to, okay. There we go, look at that. Oh, that's very broken. Hey, look at this, check it out. Oh my god. And we can still collect science, I think. Yeah, look at this, look at this, look at this. Observe mystery goo, and we can still transmit science. Oh my god, that's hilarious. You observe the goo. Not enough electric charge. Oh, we only have 10 electric charge. Well, let's get back to revert flight vehicle. So you can see why I wanted to start with a different launch system, because that one it's just too. When it was in 1.4 and 1.3, it kind of worked, and before, but with the updated graphics stuff on here, they just don't work anymore, especially with the high part count. So yeah, let's actually let us actually park one of these crew return modules up on one of the space stations. I don't think we need to launch a space station right now. We get to see the space stations. I get to show you guys that. It's pretty cool. Okay. So now we're going to go move on to the newer stuff here. We're going to open. Isn't that ridiculous? Look at that. This is so That's not just over the top. It's just ridiculous. It really is. I need like. There we go. Oh, so much comfier. All right. So crew return. No, it's going to be under space launch. Space launcher. Crew 3. And this is the space launch system, the SLS. I didn't borrow that from anywhere. It just popped into my head. Okay. So this little guy in here is gonna fly with us here. I think that's the right one. Yes, it is. Okay. When I say, "Oh, is that the right one?" I'm not confused. There's several different renditions of this one. I wanted to make sure it has the one with the little relay dish on it, because that gives it deep space control on its own without any people on board, which makes it much more useful as a crew retrieval craft, because you can fly it out by itself, robotically control it, and then get your crew on board. And if none of your crew are pilots, I know there are some like mods and stuff you can do where only pilots can control the control sort of parts, like the different pods and cockpits and stuff. Otherwise, you need like a probe core and all that. So I figured I'd just cover my bases, and when you send stuff out, you want the crew to get back. So this is taking a minute here. I think there's only one person watching. That's okay. My content is not for everyone. It's taking its sweet time here, isn't it? There we go. Let's just launch this right away. Nothing crazy about this. 137 parts. About 1,000 tons on the pad. But that's mostly fuel. So this one I am aiming to put into orbit. I'm gonna do cheaty stuff to do rendezvous because I know how to rendezvous. That's not a problem. It's like just fast forwarding basically. Ooh, a little too far, a little too far, a little too far. There we go, much better. Let's hold it there. There we are. You'll see why I'm doing this in a moment. See, this one is actually fairly aerodynamic, which is good. Not a lot of drag spikes coming off of it. Now this is I want to show you guys the detailing here. This can fly almost by itself here for a little bit. So I have 3 of these guys, Thud liquid engines, radial attached. And I used these before, but I had them mounted higher up. But I figured for better turning leverage, I would kind of reconfigure them. It kind of looks like this is like a stock part now of these. And here we got the twin bore. And under here we got, that's what it looks like from the bottom. We got the mammoth on the core there. And we got a couple of these. We got the orange tank, the orange creamsicle tank. And we got these ones, the Kerbal, blah 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 blah. This is about to peter out here. Let's see what these do. It's trying to be very, very... Okay, let's just get out of here. Okay, I don't really care. Can we... There we go. Where's our orbit looking at? Okay, we're good. We are good. Actually, I want to warp here. Plenty of delta V for the job. Oh, no, no one's watching. That's okay. That's all right. I shouldn't pay attention to that, honestly. Really shouldn't. Okay, so we're out of the atmosphere, so we're actually gonna dial this back and exit out of the time we're going to. I keep forgetting to fix that in the staging. We're gonna shimmy on over here. Come on back, come on back. There we go. Don't want to over correct here. And there we go. Oh, we just ran out. Okay, good. That's actually a good little segue there. Just the moon over there. Up here. Okay, we're going to duck down here and then right on that line, and then we're going to do it really quick, just a little bit over. This should make quick work of getting an orbit. And that should, my guy at least. Okay. So we're going to turn that off. We are going to decouple node. And we are going to, I think, go up this way. And we're going to go back to this, and we're going to take a little U-turn and deorbit. Still quite a bit of fuel in here. So you can see this is very, very capable launch vehicle. I mean, it's just a little capsule. All right. Well, we do have crew on here already. Okay, that's not actually a good thing because, yeah, I kind of wanted to demonstrate why this is a crew return vehicle. What? Why? What happened here? I thought, wait a second. Geez, I didn't configure the docking thing properly. So this is basically stuck up here now. However, not necessarily, because it has another docking port up on the pointy end. So, I'm going to try and get each of these crew return modules up in orbit, and I think I will try to make one out of the Mark Zero fuselage just for kicks. Now, okay, because this isn't going to work, so we may as well just do that because there's no functionality there anymore, unfortunately. Yeah, it exposes the heat shield and all that stuff, but whatever. I'm not really concerned. So we're gonna have rendezvous automatically here. It says cheating, but it's not really because I've already done this a bunch of times. Where's our crew base? Rendezvous. Okay. All right. Aha. Well, look at that. It's being that gives us a clue to where that is. Right over there. So here we will kind of highlight the issue that we're having here. Pardon me. So we will make sure we're oriented properly. There we go. And we're going to aim for, sure. We're going to aim for this thing right over here, actually. Okay, here we go. All right. So for anyone who's not familiar with rendezvous and docking, I skipped the rendezvous part because basically you kind of match your orbits, but you have one orbit that's smaller than the other one. So you can catch up to whatever you're trying to dock to. Or you can do it the reverse and have the thing you're docking to catch up to you, whatever you want to do. But once you're in that sort of range and you kind of zeroed out your overall, once you get within sort of range of that vehicle, when you can switch back and forth, like so, it's a lot easier to just skip that once you. I mean, I know how to do it, so I'm not going to bother with it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dock to. All right. I'm going to dock right here, I think, actually. So first things first, I got to go up. That's kind of neat on the 1.5. They actually use these. Okay, then we're going to stop going up. We're going to cancel out movement in that direction. We're going to go over to the, then we're going to kind of So we're going to turn this off and simply just aim the thing. So what here's the tricky part now. You got to aim the camera, and you also might want to think about doing control from here. Because that way you know that this thing is, you want to point this thing at this guy right here. Your docking port should be the thing that's steering your ship, your craft, whatever you want to call it. So we are going to so which way are we moving? We're moving this way. Okay. Okay, so we need to very quickly orient this thing this way. And we're gonna all right. So now we're going to go over this way. And we're just going to scooch on along here. And we're going to slow it down and fine tune our sort of relative position. So the docking ports are more or less aligned on both planes, both the X and the Z axis. And the whatever you're, okay, so we're moving away a little bit this way. Okay, so we want to scooch over here. It's a word that I just made up. Okay, we're going to stop. Okay. So we want to, the way I do it, that's saved myself a whole bunch of sanity. Now we will simply move ourselves this way. And look at this pink circle. See that pink circle right there? The middle of that pink circle is the actual place where your docking port is pointing, which in this case is a docking port. So we're going to move this way. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to move now as soon as this comes this way, I really want to okay, so now I'm going to edge towards our target here, so we're mostly centered. This can get in the way a little bit here. There we go. Now we can always now let's make sure the orientation is correct. Because if it's not, it won't translate properly to a successful docking situation. There we go. And all right, so we're going to quickly do a, see these capsules, that's fine and good and awesome. Yeah, the other one that I tried this on, one of these things wasn't there. This is from a different station actually. This one came from a different station, and this came from a different station. Now, is there anything, is anyone in here? Okay, we're going to transfer these guys to here. I want to empty this crew container because honestly, it's not a great idea that they're in there because it's just attached by this little guy. There's no docking port on the other side. Now these ones, I've corrected that and I've done this. So this is like a newer, updated version of these ones here. So they can be reconfigured and repositioned around the station. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy. Okay, so we're going to move, transfer, transfer, and transfer. And then we're going to take these guys. Where's the docking hatch? There, or the hatch. Transfer this guy. Transfer this guy. And transfer. Wait, what am I doing here? Yeah, okay. Right, so these guys have been sitting out here for a long time, and we're going to sort of help them with that real quick. So we are going to decouple, undock, okay, and then we're also going to undock, okay. So we are going to take this guy here out for a little spin. These crew have been up here for a long time. They came from the other station. And so we're going to try to grab this one as best as we can, as carefully as we can, because we don't want to nudge it out of control, because we do have minimal, should have refilled the monoprop, but whatever. All right. Don't necessarily always need to, so we're going to pop this on. Now, the only unfortunate thing about this is that this has nothing, this has no control at all. It's just a little, it's just a hitchhiker pod. And why are we going to grab that? We are going to deorbit it. So we're going to grab this thing. We're going to latch onto there. Then we are going to deorbit the sucker. So we're going to slow down. I think we're going to go down. One moment here. So I'm going to target this. Yeah, okay, we got the orientation right now. Okay, here we go. We're going to go down. There is enough space to scooch in there now and grab it. But I have to be very, very careful. Like I said, there is no control on this thing at all. And it's starting to rotate a bit, which could be a minor issue. Okay, stop that motion. So we're going to take that off, and we're just going to take a moment here to just to orient this thing approximately at the same angle. And we're going to turn this back on, and we're going to scooch-a-dooch on over here. And we're going to slow on down here. Like I said, it just has to be approximate. So we're going to move on over here. Once that's lined up, we can okay. Oops. Oh, it's backwards. Backwards. No, no, no. Come on. Capture. Yeah, we got it. We got it. Oh yeah, we got it. Okay, we don't need to. Okay. Electric charge is going up quite a bit because this thing has mad photovoltaic. Has these 4 big panels and a couple of little ones too. So we are going to go. We are going to deorbit now. We're going to deorbit. Strange orbital plane here. Okay, so we're going to just. Okay, so we're going to. Now we're going to deorbit. I'm pretty sure we have enough RCS to do this too, even though that other thing that we're hooked to is pretty hefty, actually. Oof. Yeah, this thing can deorbit itself from this orbital height. It's not really from this out. It can do it on its own, but oh, what the heck was that? I really should have refilled the RCS before we left. So we're going to pull this thing down. We're going to unhitch it, get out of its way, let it burn up, crash, whatever. And yeah. Coming down very nicely now. Oh, once we deorbit this guy and return the crew to safely to the surface, that will be that for now. I won't be back until Monday. So I think on Monday we're going to live build a few other crew return sort of craft, because I do think that and we're gonna address the yeah, Space Station 12 group power module. I actually decoupled the power module. You'll see that on Monday. We'll do it on Monday. I'll show you guys exactly what that is and what it's for and what it does and all that stuff. And we will also do a live build of a few more different crew return craft with different docking capabilities and so on and so forth. All right. We're actually very quickly running out of monoprop. It's just an oversight on my part, unfortunately. Should have refilled it. You know what I could possibly do is I could time warp to here. Or it's a bit closer to the... Oh! Oh, that's why it's taking so long. No, 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 no. I want to warp over here. Yeah, because that's our issue actually right now is we were going away from the APA. Well, I don't remember. We're going away from this. We want to be going toward it. Or this is oh. Okay, so we're going to that's really gonna have quite a bit of an impact now. It's 2, 1. I don't think we have enough mana prop though. It's really frustrating. And there's no way to dock to this thing either. It's kind of on its own now. Okay, we could possibly, maybe, possibly have enough to get this into the atmosphere. Because once it's in the atmosphere, it'll take care of itself. Come on. Come on. We should have enough. Maybe. Trying to get that. Really, it's going to be really, really tight. All right, you know what? I'm just going to say that I refilled it because that's what I would have done. We're just going to go in and do infinite propellant because, I mean, look how close it is. Come on. I almost always, yeah, it's like a default thing. As soon as I get this under, I think 65 should probably be my goal here. We'll go for 60. Then I'll wrap up because I have some stuff I gotta do. And I haven't really had lunch because I'm not feeling well. Okay, so we're just gonna leave it like that. We're gonna turn the cheats off. No more of that stuff. Because I mean, I just forgot to refill it. It's really, I just forgot to refill it. That's really the long and short of it. It's not really. It's something that I overlooked. And this is just like a demo of what this thing can do. So it's funny because these crew were in here before, and now they're... So I'm going to hang on to this for a while, actually. Now, what's going to happen with my actual orbit? Is this coming down at all? Yes, it is. Quite a bit, actually. Oh, wow. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make another orbit. I think this is going to be it. All right. So we are taking some heat now. I want this dish to be up here, so it's not... How's this doing? It's coming down pretty nice, but it's not doing much, I'll tell you that. Let's see where that is now. Jeez, it's like completely in the way. Wow, someone's being really loud outside. What the heck is that all about? It's because I'm going so fast through the upper atmosphere. May not seem like it, but that's okay. It's one of the cats. Okay, so we are going to. Where are we coming down at? There's the North Pole. North Pole, yeah. All right, so at this point we can say goodbye. Then I'll just fly off away, and we can just let this thing float on its own. It should be okay. All right, we have a nice trajectory here. Okay, we're doing pretty well here. That thing just burned up or disappeared or something. We're coming down here. So the temperatures are returning to normal. Okay. Sounds like something's dying out there. What the hell? So we are going to the altitude down below us here is pretty high, so we're gonna let these chutes come out. Okay, we're gonna keep the heat shield on just in case it needs maybe a cushion. I am very happy with that rate of descent. All right. I'm not actually sure where this is going to plunk us down. I don't know if it's going to be flat or not. It does not look like it will be. Not sure. So I'm just gonna keep this going. I should have left one of the chutes stowed. Oh well. Can't do it now. Now if I bring one of these people out, I have to do Melcott. There we go. Thank you, Melcott. I'm going to leave one of them put back in there. Good thing we had an engineer on board. Because now, because of that, I should be able to if I slide down a mountain, I'll have another parachute just in case. Just in case. Speed this back up real quick. Let's just climb out in the capsule as it's descending. Sure, why not? Okay, we're gonna. Now there are lights that should light up the area. This looks like it might be a fairly severe slope here. Not 100% sure. Oh, there we are. And we are landed. Way over here. I don't even know where here is. Huh. Pretty far away from Kerbal Space Center, wherever that is now. But look at the lights. It's lit up the area. All right. There we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you liked it, subscribe. If not, whatever. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want. But next time on Monday, we will be doing a full mission where we launch a new set of vehicles, and we're going to do a live build. We're going to take all of different crew containing parts, all the different capsules and lander cans and all that stuff. We're going to make as many crew return modules, whatever you want to call them, as possible. And because they're all going to be used for different reasons and purposes, and you know, if you want to use it in your stock sort of not stock, this is sandbox, but if you want to use it in your science or career game, you know, you might want to have different options. You know, you may, you know, just trying to be helpful and show people different ideas and things that you can use to get these guys back down the Kerbin or between orbiting craft. So as per usual, folks, thanks for watching, everyone. If I can highlight, hello, this is like super frozen up here. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching today. And remember, love yourself, love everyone around you, kindness always, peace.